Hey everyone, welcome to this pick a card reading. So, the theme of the reading is kind of not a theme. It's more just like what's going on for you right now, what are you attracting in your life right now, and probably a little bit of a look at like maybe what is blocking you from the life that you are wishing to create, or what is needed to let go of, or what belief or what way of looking at something is needed to let go of. So, definitely my intention is just for this reading to be uplifting, when you need to look at something that makes you remember your own power, your own beauty, your own strength, your own magnificence, your own wonder, and really to open your eyes to the world and be like, hey, this place is beautiful. Yeah, because we all need that sometimes, hey? Could be, yeah, can be a funny place, YouTube. So, high vibrations, let's do it, let's do it. So, I've got 3 piles and I've channeled some messages for each pile that will be specific for you. And so, that's what the little symbols are on the paper. It's just some light language channeling so that you can be attracted to whichever pile is right for you. Or else there are some crystals there. I'm not going to go into the names of them, but just go by the feeling and what looks good to you, okay? So this one over here is pile number 1. There's pile 2. There's pile 3. And I'll see you at your timestamp that will be listed below. Or I'll see you at your reading. Okay, bye. Hey group 1, welcome to your reading. So if you picked this symbol, then this is the message that I channeled for you. Okay. Losing friends or leveling up? You are creating a solid foundation for your own success, one that isn't reliant on anyone else, therefore cannot be shaken. Yeah. And that means like no matter what's going on outside, in the world, in the chaos, if you have that inner strength that's inside of you that is based on your own connection to yourself and based on your own energy and your own inner work and your own self-love, then it's like people will come and go. They will. We know this about life. We know that in life there is death, and death can be real. Like you might have actually lost someone recently, and again, I extend my grief for anyone who's watching. When I talk about grief and loss, if you're truly grieving somebody, I send you so much love. But we as humans, we experience grief and loss for so many things that oftentimes we do not honor it. But it's also sometimes important to like reframe how we're looking at things we have lost. Like, for example, if you've gone through a process recently of losing a lot of friends, perhaps instead of saying, oh my gosh, I lost all my friends, it would be helpful to say, I'm letting go of so many people. Or even like just looking at what this is creating space for in your life, or what elements of those friendships had you outgrown organically. There's so much more of perception available to us if we open ourselves to that. I really feel like this year a lot of people have gone through a process of losing a lot of friends or letting go of a lot of people. I've gone through a huge process of that. So if you resonate with this experience, I send you so much love. I know how hard it can be at that point where you feel like, holy shit, I have never been this alone before. And yet, if you're watching this channel, you're at a vibrational point, where actually you're strong enough to see this differently. You are strong enough to see this differently, and you're strong enough to be so gentle with yourself and to love yourself without condition. Without condition. Even if through some events in your life you have learned that some people do not love you without condition. I'm sensing there was an imbalance as well in your relationships where you were giving a lot more, you were showing up a lot more, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. And you kind of just got used to like not getting that back. You got a little bit used to that just being the way. But Spirit's like, no, there is a new way. And it might not involve as many people as it used to, or it might not look the way that it used to. But there is a new way coming that is full of so much more love than you have ever felt before, and I know that for certain for you. I really do. Okay, let's look at your cards. So these two, Moonlight, Travel, Romance, Potential, and Sacred Earth Mother, a message of love. Wow. Panther Spirit, reclaim your power. Yeah, someone was saying this was following them through readings. Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. Bee Spirit, sweet results await. Buzz buzz. Skunk Spirit, know your worth. Yes. Chameleon Spirit, act as if. Maybe I'll put them up here. And Cat Spirit, claim your independence. This is almost funny, just how clear it is to me. Wow. Just trying to get them all in shot. That will forever bug me. Okay, that's so good. So, y'all are claiming your independence right now. And like, that might be something that's maybe new I'm picking up. Like, it's a new feeling. And so there's this message from Spirit or your higher self. Spirit is really what I call higher self of myself. But it's also your higher self in a way. I don't know, we're getting very metaphysical now. But basically, act as if you already have what it is that you want. And I know that might sound annoying because it's like, how am I supposed to act like I am like in love if I'm not in love with anyone? Well, fall in love with yourself. Like, truly, you know, the law of attraction, there's so many like misunderstandings with the law of attraction, and truly the most important thing to recognize is like, we manifest what it is that we already are. Like, the energy that we already are, we manifest that. So it's frustrating because it's like, well, if I have an energy of, you know, not feeling amazing, then I'm going to attract more of those not amazing experiences, right? Sort of. It's more complicated than that still, because our higher self also has a point of attraction within our life. And that higher self is really God, you know. It's those things in our life that happen where we're just like, that was truly a miracle, or like, this thing saved my life. Like, and it's that gratitude and that understanding that we are creating our life, but at the same time, we are not God. There is still God here, or Spirit, or whatever you like to call it. That is a power that is bigger than us, that is bigger than you or I. And that we can actually feel a sense of surrender to that, and a sense of like not having to do this all alone in one sense. Because you are loved so deeply by power that is beyond our comprehension. Like, it's the paradox of the human experience. We are alone, and yet we are never alone. Like, we take every step in our own, and yet it's like we wouldn't even know how to take that step without God. I feel like I'm not even making sense anymore. Basically, Sacred Earth Mother, a message for love. Spirit wants you to feel how loved you are in this moment, because you are so loved in this moment. So part of you going through a process of losing friends or ending relationships or letting go of people is that you are reclaiming your power now. You're actually really honoring your worth and demanding better, expecting better, and respecting yourself. So if right now things feel like there's not a lot going on, or it feels a bit like, oh my gosh, that whole scarcity mindset coming in, well, trust that sweet results await, and keep showing up for yourself every day, even if it's just in little ways. Like, especially if it's in little ways, show up for yourself every day. Act as if you are living a life that you want to exist in. Truly, it's like, can you just like make it up a bit? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you really want to, like, say, for some of you out there, I can feel like you really want to meet someone, like maybe you're single, or you just, yeah, like you want to meet someone new. So it's like, okay, well, act as if you are meeting somebody every day. So it's like, well, how would your life change? Would you have more, like, would you clean your room in case they came over? Or would you have some space for them to, like, if you were dating someone, for them to put their things away in your closet? Or, because I've heard that from people who do law of attraction. It's like, actually create space for that person into your life. Or would you go swimming at a certain pool because the person you want to be with, would you really want them to be like really physically fit? So it's like, are you being really physically fit? All of these kinds of things is how we attract these situations that we actually want. And I think like that's really something, like focusing on that, like focusing on, like, if you want to feel more desired, then like do some sexy dancing for yourself. Like, you can still cultivate this energy even if you don't have an external person who is, you are handing your power over to say, hey, validate me, tell me I'm beautiful, tell me I'm sexy, desire me, love me, rah, 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 rah. It's like, you can literally cut that process out and do that for yourself. You really can. And it might take some time, but honestly, it will mean that you know your worth from here on out, always, always, always. And therefore you will not settle, you will not tolerate bad behavior towards you. You will be like a panther in your power. And you will know when to be gentle and loving, and you will know when to be fierce and commanding in your strength. Okay. Okay. I think there is love coming in for you because we have travel, romance, and potential. And we have a message of love with Sacred Earth Mother. And we have know your worth, and we have claim your independence. And truly, like, we are living in this paradoxical world because it's like, you need to claim your independence to attract a relationship. Like, you need to act as if in order to have the thing. It's so funny because it's sort of mind-blowing sometimes, but trust me, if you're always focusing on what you do not have, you will create more of that feeling of not having things. Truly, that's what you're creating, because whatever you focus on grows. So if you're focusing on like, like, I don't know, something about yourself that you don't like, or if you're focusing on like, I'm a loser, I don't have any friends, well, that feeling state, the way you feel when you say those words to yourself, that is what you're attracting more of. Because we're attracting feelings. So if you get in touch with the feeling, what would it feel like to have someone who wanted to date you every night? How would you change? What would you do, Maybe you would start doing your makeup, or I don't know, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, but it's about the feeling that you generate through that thing of seeing like, yes, this is possible for me. How does it feel for that to be real for you? How does that feel? And also feeling gratitude for what you have right now in this time of independence or solitude or whatever. Think about it. Like, you get to sleep in your bed all spread out, and you get to, I don't know what else you get to do, devote all your time to yourself now. You get to cook whatever you feel like eating now, or rah rah rah, whatever it is. Write a list of all the things you're grateful for with being your own or with being single, or write a list of all the things you're grateful for in general, full stop. Because it will shift your perspective from that narrative of like, I'm alone, nobody loves me, Because when you always focus on those things, you create more of that feeling state, which is lack, which is scarcity. And when you focus on the abundance, which is right in front of you always, it's simply a shift of perspective, which sometimes looks like a shift in vibration. You create more abundance then. Act as if. Sweet results await, because they do, because the abundant universe will provide. Truly. Okay, let's get a few tarot cards. This is the Mother Piece Tarot deck. Also, my fingertips are blue because pain. Also, it's so rainy and grey today here. It's like one of those days where it's almost like you have to have permission to be in a sad, gloomy mood because the weather's so sad and gloomy. Do you know that feeling? It's really rarely like this in Australia in winter, so, well, in Adelaide in winter. I guess I can't speak for the whole of the country. Okay, stop talking, Bridget. Two of Swords, Eight of Cups, and the Seven of Pentacles. Well, I'm glad that we looked into this because y'all didn't tell me that you hadn't let go yet. Y'all didn't tell me that. I didn't know that. Y'all haven't let go. You have to let go. I don't know. I'm actually thinking about filming like a meditation for letting go and like cutting energetic cords and stuff because this is exactly what y'all need right now. This sword, it needs to come in with clarity, with assertiveness, with truly saying, you know what? I cannot occupy this space of like thinking about these people or this person anymore because it's preventing you from seeing what you are cultivating for yourself right now. Like traditionally the Two of Swords, when it's depicted in traditional tarot, like she has a blindfold on because there's almost this sense of like not being able to see clearly, like there's doubt, there's confusion. Should I go this way? Should I go that way? Should I turn left? Should I turn right? And Spirit is sort of telling you, like, you do know. It's just that what's blocking you is Eight of Cups, is truly walking away, truly giving up on something. Giving up on, that's what surrender is. That's what letting go is. You know, what more can it be? It's giving up on something. It's saying, you know what? I tried my best with this relationship, and there is still a part of me that would really love for it to still happen. But I have to walk away now for my own heart to heal and for my own sense of self-respect. I have to walk away. I have to do what is good for me, even if it is not easy. Even if it is not easy, I have to walk away. I have to give up on this. Because it's hurting you to hold on to a sense of hope that maybe one day we could all be friends again, or maybe one day we could get back together. And it's just like, no. Focus on what you are pregnant with right now. The Seven of Pentacles, she's pregnant in this. She's pregnant in a field of watermelons. You guys, think about it. This is what you have going for yourself, you know? You are truly pregnant right now. Well, gosh, okay, you might be actually pregnant right now, but I really meant that more, but when it came out, it had a crazy vibration to it. But I did actually intend to say it more in terms of metaphorically, you're pregnant right now because you're giving birth to a new life. Like you're really giving birth to new life and to new ways of being. And right now you're still in this womb, like you're still in the darkness, you're still in this dark space of like, I cannot see what is coming for me, therefore I'm just holding on to this hope of what is in the past because I can't see what's coming for me, and in the past I at least know the parameters of it, right? It's like that holding on to what is known, even if during it you were like, this is sort of mediocre at best. It's time to get honest and see that, you know, this is part of nature. This is a part of life. This process of letting go and of giving up on something or someone or some dream you have, it is so painful. I know it is, but it's also a part of life. Just like the womb is a part of life. We cannot see. when we are in the womb. Like, we genuinely cannot see. We have no need for sight though. We have something so much deeper and so much wiser going on. And this is what's taking place in your life. You know, there's this huge cycle taking place in your life. Like, it's a much bigger cycle than something you can see, like a day or a season. Like, this is karmic cycle, possibly like over lifetimes, you know. There's this sense of a huge turning point in your life. And if only you could just have the tiniest shred more faith to get you over this finish line, because you're about to give birth to a life that you could not have even dreamed up for yourself, even in your best journal scripting, law of attraction, vision board sessions. Better than that. Better than that. So give Spirit some credit here. I'm feeling like y'all have felt a bit like abandoned by God recently. Like, you're like, what the heck? What the heck? I get it, but have faith. Seriously, have faith. The abundant universe will provide. Alright, that's all I have time for group 1, but I send you so much love. Talk to you soon. Bye. Hey group 2. Oh my gosh, it is the coldest and rainiest day here today, and it's turned so dark and gloomy outside. But oh my gosh. I'm just hoping the lighting's gonna stay for us, alright? Okay, so this is your symbol and this is your channeled message. So this, we'll see what this is first. Give yourself permission to rebel. Unleash your sacred rebel. Create more freedom consciously. Channel this rebellious energy into a place that serves you. So, pretty clear message. And the rebellious energy, channeling that into a place that serves you is really just so that you don't channel it against yourself in a self-sabotaging way, you know, which is very easily done. Actually, I'm going to put the symbol, because this symbol has codes for y'all too. Okay, so oracle cards, let's have a look. The hidden path. The marriage of spirit and matter. Achievement, keep focused on your dream. Beautiful. Swan spirit, time for a deep dive. Turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace. Koala spirit, spirit has a plan. I love this one. Dolphin spirit, this and that are true. Pig spirit, use your mind wisely. And porcupine spirit, time for a beginner mind. Okay, so I'm actually going to shuffle some tarot cards for y'all right now because I want to get a little bit of a clearer sense. This is the Mother Peace Tarot. Oh, 10 of Cups. What else is going on for group 2, Spirit? Queen of Cups. Y'all seem to be doing pretty good. Daughter of Wands. Son of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords, and the Page of Wands. The Seven of Swords. Here we go. You see this imagery? This is a fox breaking into a chicken coop, and the Seven of Swords is like the energy of like manipulation, lying, deception, or like acting really strategically. Sometimes it's a necessary energy, like we have to be somewhat strategic sometimes in life, but I'm always suspicious of it whenever it shows up, so let's clarify it. Queen of Swords. Okay, can you clarify it one more time, please? Wheel of Fortune. Alright, so this and that are true. So Spirit's saying it's both. Right now, you do need to act a little bit strategically. So that might look like not telling someone this great idea that you have, or not going and telling your mom this thing you want to do, because you know that every time you tell her, she's always just like, ugh, what are you doing? And it makes you feel shit about yourself. So it's like, just don't do that. Act strategically, like protect yourself with boundaries. This is what it's saying, because I clarified it first with the Queen of Swords, and sometimes this means we have to protect ourselves with saying yes and no, and being assertive and being somewhat, sometimes the Queen of Swords is like perceived as like being cold or like ruthless, but actually I feel like that's unfair, because she is always the one who's doing the thing that's hardest to do, that other people maybe don't want to do. You know, the other people don't want to put up the boundary. But the Queen of Swords is like, we need to put this boundary up. Like, it's not serving either one of us to not have this here. So I'm seeing a conflict in your character, because you're also this Queen of Cups, where you're super loving and you just want to like hold the space for everybody and like give people like 10-second chances, and you just see the best in people and you're like, oh, but they could be so amazing if they could just heal this thing or sort this thing out. Yes, absolutely, yes, this is true. This and that are true. It's both true. So it's about finding the balance for yourself. Finding the balance. Okay, when do I hold space for this person? When do I put the boundary up for myself? Use your mind wisely, and time for a beginner mind. Honestly, this is probably a little bit of what this channeled message was saying about the sacred rebellion. It's sort of like, maybe sometimes you actually go a little bit too extreme between these two queens in your nature. Like, you might sometimes overly hold space for somebody, and actually you're holding space for somebody's like shit. And then it might like sort of crack on you and you feel this rage boil up, and then you snap at someone and you're just like too forceful in your assertion of your boundary, of your need. And so it can kind of make you retreat and pull back again into this Queen of Cups energy of being very soft and gentle and nurturing and loving, being like, I'm okay with however you feel, la da da. And then again, you kind of overstay your welcome in terms of like, you don't honor what's really going on for you sometimes, like, and because you're afraid of hurting people, you're afraid of coming across as cold. So, Spirit's saying, look, the way that you think about things really matters. The way that anyone thinks about things really matters. And the story that we narrate ourselves matters so much. So it's sort of like Spirit's message with this rebellious energy is like, for you to be in this 10 of Cups energy, which is ultimate fulfillment, which is divine fulfillment, which is here for you right now. With this 10 of Cups, it's here for you right now. Spirit has a plan to get you there if you're not feeling it right now. But it's so important the way that you are narrating your life with, and how you are using your mind. Beginner mind, time for a beginner mind, and use your mind wisely. This is so interesting. I actually am getting a really strong message with this dolphin spirit and with these queens is like the need to kind of bring duality into oneness. So instead of being like, oh, well, I either have to be like loving or I have to be mean. It's kind of like, how can you see that you are always both and you cannot sort of not be one? Like, you are always the lightness and the dark, you know, because maybe this Queen of Swords is more in your shadow. Maybe you're more afraid of her power, of her ability with her sword to just cut through and say no or yes. Whereas the Queen of Cups, you know, she's so soft. People love her more. Like, they don't love her more, but on the surface level, they're like, oh, I just want to be with the Queen of Cups, you know? But it's like, how are you not allowing that both of these are true for you? Both of these are a part of who you are. And the more that you bring that into an acceptance place, and even a place of approving of those aspects of yourself, you know, the less in conflict there'll be, and the less you find that you're bouncing between these two extremes in energy. Because really, it's just about creating a better experience for yourself, like, for yourself, really. So, give with gratitude and grace. Again, I'm feeling like this is a little bit about you needing to give that to yourself. Yeah, giving it to yourself. That's funny. But it's like the Wheel of Fortune as well. And I clarified the Seven of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune and the Priestess of Swords. And the Wheel of Fortune, this tells me that there's something going on right now that feels a little bit out of your control, or like bigger than you, like you're really feeling like you're one star in a galaxy or something like that, or even you're feeling like you're becoming a star or something, and you're just like, whoa, this is huge energy, like I surge on the uprising wave of love kind of energy. It's really nice, but at the same time, this is maybe as well where you need to be a little bit strategic about who you like letting into your chicken coop right now. Don't let any foxes in. Because I'm seeing your energy is gorgeous right now. You're really attractive. People are really into you. You know, there's a real attractiveness about your energy because it's so full of joy and love, and you're really accessing this deep place inside of yourself that is just full of life force energy. And you know, you're really doing the most in the best kind of way. Like, so you're really having this shift with the Wheel of Fortune, like a quantum leap. And so I think it's just as well a message about, like, some people you might not be able to read people's intentions quite clearly right now. That it might actually be that people see that you are going to achieve your dreams and that you are a star in the sky shining bright, and they might be a bit jealous of you, or they might be a bit like, hey, maybe I can ride on this person's success a bit. So just be aware of that. And again, Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups. Keep them both close. Because there's definitely, I'm feeling like one or two people in your life that don't have your best interests at heart just because of their own vibrational nature. And I think you know instantly who I'm talking about. And maybe this Swan Spirit's saying, like, maybe time for a deep dive to really, like, question yourself. Why do I allow jealous people to hang around me? Who are jealous of me? Like, why would I actually allow that energy in my life? Like, what is that? What belief does it serve in myself? Or what's the story I've been telling myself about why it's okay for people to be jealous of me all the time, who are supposed to be my close friends? Like, why is that okay with you? Because there's a reason. But you can also have, you know, the freedom of choice, if that is okay with you or not, or if it's just an old story you're going by. Again, with this rebellious energy, it's really interesting, like, I'm kind of getting, oh, I hope that was okay. I'm kind of just getting, like, the need for you to maybe just do something really adventurous and insane. Like, I don't know, move countries, or like, just be like, yep, nope, had enough of you, bye, like, it's done. I don't know, just something that, like, but something that serves you, like, so that you don't turn it against yourself in any kind of self-harming ways that you might, like, revert back into sometimes if you're feeling like, oh, fuck this, you know, like getting really drunk, or I don't know, whatever it is. There's always something we can all fall into sometimes when we're feeling like pushed to our limits, you know. So it's like needing to acknowledge that you have limits too. Everyone has limits. Like, we all kind of, you know, sometimes we all just assume that, like, each other are perfect, and it's so not true, you know, and it keeps us from being vulnerable and real with each other. And so, yeah, time for a deep dive, maybe really diving deep into your relationships and considering, like, maybe it's time for me to have a beginner mind to this stuff. Maybe I need to reevaluate some of these people that I give a lot of my time to. Yeah. But yeah, y'all are, like, doing really well. Like, there's not a lot for me to say because you're doing really well. And you're actually going to, like, be coming up into some crazy, like, new heights really soon. Like, some goal you're going to reach, some job you're going to get, some achievement you're going to have, some, like, love you're going to find. Like, something huge is happening for you, and it's going to make you feel 10 of Cups kind of fulfilled, which is, like, beyond fulfilled. Like, you cannot get better feelings than the 10 of Cups feelings, in my opinion. So you've got amazing things coming. Remember to feel gratitude and grace for where you are right now, and give to yourself right now. Like, truly giving to yourself, even just the gift of compassion or gratitude for what you already do. Sometimes you just, like, forget to see how amazing you are, so you focus on your, like, all the things you haven't done. And it's like, look back at your life and see everything you have done to get you to this moment, because you are amazing. And the fact that you're even, like, questioning that sometimes is just insane. So use your mind wisely, please. Okay, I send you so much love and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, group 3. This is a little soda light crystal, by the way. And this is your symbol. And this is your channeled message. Oh, you got the longest one. Self-love begins with self-respect. Are you honoring all that you do, have, are? You are loved without condition. Allow yourself to feel the love that is within you now. Take notice of how you hand over your power to other people in order to feel loved, worthy, or desired. So, this basically means, are you honoring all that you are? Are you honoring all that you have in this moment, all that you do every day, all the ways you show up for yourself? Do you know that you are loved without condition, that no choice you have ever made could ever make you unlovable in this or any lifetime? Do you allow yourself to feel the love that is actually within you? Or do you create situations where you hand that love over to other people and you say, when I am around you, I allow myself to feel love. When I am around you, I allow myself to feel desired. When I am around you, I allow myself to feel like I am enough through the reflection that you give to me of who I am. And yet, if that person then leaves, do you then feel unloved, unworthy, or undesired? Because that's the way that we hand our power away. You know, sometimes we say these things in like, you know, spiritual community. I don't even know what that means, but I always say it. We say these things like, don't hand your power away. But it's like, what does that actually mean? What does it actually mean to hand your power away? How do you do that? What are the crazily strategic ways that we do this to ourselves? Because we do. It's like we withhold love for ourselves. And then we meet someone and we get this reflection of like, hey, you're a good looking girl. And all of a sudden we're like, yes, I feel so loved. And you like unleash all the love that you withheld for yourself. Like, it's so crazy the way we do this to ourselves. But it's like when we're aware of that, that is true power. Oh my goodness, that is true power. You can anchor your power in ways you never even knew were available to you when you can do that, when you can recognize that way of handing power away and what that actually means on a daily basis. What does that mean? Actually learning that, you know? Okay, let's go into your oracle cards. Rising above, clarity, freedom, solution. Evolution, earth changes. Climate change, transformation. Climate change, I feel like, will always just give me anxiety every time I read that. I'm like, why did they put climate change on a card? Anyway, okay. Badger spirit, be fearless and bold. That is like one of my favorite animal cards, I have to say. Ant spirit, time to collaborate. Eagle spirit, spirit has your back. Hummingbird spirit, be here now. Sandpiper spirit, be playful. And eagle spirit, let spirit be your guide. Oh, hawk spirit, let spirit be your guide. And eagle spirit. You know what's insane? As I always feel like those two come out together. Like it has for a while now. Like in readings and just with other people. Just come out together. Really interesting. Okay. So these aren't really perfectly in line. Oh well. Hopefully that doesn't frustrate the heck out of you. Okay. So basically, the first message I'm getting here is be here now, hummingbird spirit. I feel like sometimes you guys tend to disassociate from life, and trust me, I think we all do it. So when that happens, I think that what you need is to connect with your inner child and like allow yourself to maybe just do something crazy or what you might consider is crazy. Like, I don't know. Whatever it is for you. I don't know. Everyone's idea of like adventure is different. You know, like for some people adventure is like taking a bath in the middle of the day. But for other people, it's like booking a flight and just being like, I'm out of here. So whatever it is for you. But there's a real sense of like flight and like getting distance, getting perspective. Maybe you're feeling homesick right now. There's a sense of like you being removed from a sense of community or family or like love, or a sense of being apart from someone you love. And it's sort of, it's I can feel it's like a painful kind of yearning energy. And Spirit is really saying to you, honor your inner child right now. Can you look after your inner child in like to the most right now? Can that be your focus right now? So when you have, any kind of feelings of getting out of your body, disassociating, put on a song and just shake your body or dance your body, or, make sure that you're actually cooking for yourself or eating enough food, and so that your inner child doesn't feel abandoned. Because sometimes we don't recognize the way that our inner dialogue is speaking to ourselves. And honestly, when people talk about inner child work, gosh, the best way we can do inner child work from my own experience in life has been to change the way that I speak about myself, to myself. Because if you consider, like, this is a really powerful exercise that changed my life. Consider that you have a child sitting in front of you. They might be 3 years old, they might be 7 years old, they might be 10 years old, they might be 6 months old. Regardless, they might be all of those ages, because actually your inner child does encapsulate every age you've ever lived. It's all of you, it's all ages. But sometimes when we start inner child work, I've noticed that we might consider it as a baby first, a 6-month-old or a 1-month-old. And then as we go up in the years, maybe in our inner child care, the inner child actually grows. It's quite beautiful. So basically, consider maybe that there's like a 3-year-old child in front of you, or even younger or even older, whatever works for you. Now consider saying to that child some of the things that you might say to yourself on a daily basis. For example, I can't believe that you ate all of those chocolate biscuits. You disgust me. That is a disgusting thing for you to do. You have no self-control. What is wrong with you? There's actually something wrong with you, and I'm disgusted by you. I can't even look at you right now. I hate you. Was that really confronting to hear? Was it really confronting to consider speaking to a child that way? Is it really confronting because you also could see that you say way worse things to yourself on a daily basis? And then we wonder why our inner child doesn't trust us? Hello? Trust takes time. It takes care. It takes caring. It takes not saying that nasty thing to yourself anymore. And it won't work right away. But if you set the intention, if you really do set the intention, you know what? I'm not going to allow this dialogue to just go crazy in my head. I'm going to say no to it. I'm going to actually stand up for myself, because who else will do it? No one. There's no one else living in your mind. You are your own authority. You are your own authority. You are the only one who thinks in your mind. Therefore, you are your own authority. Honestly, sometimes the easiest solutions are the most simple things. Like just putting up a boundary, you know what? I'm not going to pick at my skin anymore. I'm just not going to do it. Instead, I'm going to say that I approve of myself 100 times in my head every day. Because, by the way, that's a Louise Hay trick. And I tried that when I was having some skin issues. I tried saying I approve of myself 100 times for a few days. And literally my skin cleared up like you would not believe. I was so amazed. It's been really helpful. But truly, I understand this thing of the body can sometimes just take over, or the mind takes over, or whatever. They don't work in sync sometimes, and we have this intention of like, you know what, I'm going to just speak really nicely to myself. And then all of a sudden we catch this dialogue that's just like attacking us. And it's like, what the actual heck is going on here? I'm so used to just listening to this day in and day out. So it's like, boom, be fearless and bold. Shake that shit up. It might be time to collaborate, might be time to ask for help. But honestly, be playful with it. I think this is honestly, I'm feeling like this is collaborate with your inner child. Have an art therapy session. Do some play, some free play with your inner child. Take them on a walk. Tell them that you love them. Offer them a symbolic crystal. Buy them a crystal in real life. Say, you know what do you feel like for eating for dinner tonight? I'm going to make you dinner tonight. Pretend like you're actually caring for yourself like you would a little baby or a little child, and speak as gently and with as much compassion to yourself as you would a child. That is what inner child healing is, and that is how we feel like we can move through life with way more safety and ease, and trusting life like we trust, like a child trusts that they will be taken care of. We can trust God that God will take care of us, or that Spirit will take care of us. And that's such a powerful energy to cultivate, is that self-care, true self-care. Okay, I'm going to pull a couple of tarot cards. The Sun, the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Empress. Hell yeah. Oh yes, honey. Empress energy. Yeah, so be patient with yourself. Please be patient with yourself. Sometimes we also need to look back at all the work we've already done. Like, I found this journal entry I'd done like 2 years ago where I was doing these affirmations about myself, and I was like, damn, Bridget, thank you for showing up for yourself all this time. Like, even though it was 2 years ago, like, thank you so much for still putting in the effort, because we just start where we are. Sometimes we forget that and we put conditions on ourselves. It's like, I'll love myself like I'm the Empress when I've lost 5 kilos, or when I can finally do my yoga practice every single day. Whatever it is, it's like, no, you start where you are. You start where you are. Nine of Cups as well is a big yes. Say yes to something, or Spirit saying yes to you if you've been having this doubt around, should I really go for this? Or do I really want this thing? Yes. Want what you want. Love what you love. Love who you love. Do it. I mean, use your own discretion here. Viewer discretion advised. But Sun, there's some truth coming in. There's some warmth coming in for you. Like, honestly, there's such good energies coming in for y'all. And I really see that even though self-love and self-respect came up as your channeled message, in so many ways, I feel like that has come up for you because you have been cultivating more self-love and self-respect and self-care for yourself than you ever have before. And truly, you are like going to be transforming into creating your Nine of Cups. Maybe you've also just recently had to walk away and face an Eight of Cups energy, and you're truly coming into fulfillment in this emotionally fulfilled way. So have faith. This might feel like you're in a dark place right now and you're like, I cannot see the light, but it is coming. Nine of Wands, the sun will rise again, and sometimes we have to have faith even when it feels like there's no proof or evidence as to why we ought to. The sun will rise again. It will. It absolutely will. And it will be so beautiful and exquisite. Really, truly. Yeah, I'm seeing a real beautiful balance for you as well in masculine and feminine energies with the Empress and the Sun. And really merging those two, because that's the other aspect of inner child work, is really marrying our inner feminine and our inner masculine to take care of our inner child. Like, oh, it's so divine. It's so divine. Okay, well, that was a really nice energy. Y'all have such beautiful things coming in for you, so just, stay in that faith and know that ultimate fulfillment is your destiny, okay? I send you so much love. Bye.